What's up, fam? All Clouded, episode 42, and we made a little bit of a boo-boo. So I had all the introduction, everything sorted like you guys usually see when you tune into an episode, and I forgot to free up space on my disk. And wow, yeah, had to delete a whole bunch of stuff, so none of it recorded. It was a bit of a shame because what I did do is I went through a run demo and I just talked about some of the stuff that we come across. But this week has been pretty good for us. So our coins and the glass cannon, stun gun, landmine spam, whatever we want to call it, transition to the build. It's been really good. Our coins are now further along than where we were from the Orbless kind of build. So the main goal was to get it on par and then supersede it, go into a build with a higher ceiling. We managed to achieve that, which has been pretty good. But probably the really good thing about it as far as the runs go is they've just been so much crazier. You know, it's one of those ones where just constantly throttling down the damage so that we have a higher ceiling for Orbless, and just to capitalize on some of the later waves where we can maximize the coins. That was kind of making the playstyle become, I wouldn't say unbearable, but it was making the playstyle just become annoying after some time. So when we first went Orbless, we were just chasing hard for damage, and we just push, and then it just got to the point where we were just having too much damage and we couldn't slow ourselves down because, you know, it just slows us down for tournaments and everything like that, and we just had to go for something else. So this is what we're looking at. So 5,000 waves is pretty typical. If I get some weird lag spikes, which I have been experiencing quite a bit since version 27, just random spikes. The game kind of pauses for a minute and then boomfa, all my energy shields are gone, everything like that. So I think, you know, we're running into more of a performance issue, but it's not device dependent for me. It seems to be across everything, whether I use an emulator, spare phone, cloud phone, whatever. It's just something that's been happening, which there's no giving the tank when you're at a stage where everything can one-shot you. But 5,000 waves, pretty typical. It's what we've been doing about lately. 568, slightly higher than what I usually earn, but yeah, over 500 is kind of what we're looking for. 5,000 waves, and this is without intro sprint. Mastery, 18 death defies, pretty good. So here's our stats. So that's about 6 hours. So what I get away with this is I get away with 2 of these during the day. So 2 of these runs during the day. I have one as our overnight run, and then I just have a little bit of a gap here, and I just put one on. So if I'm getting 3 of these runs at about 500 trill, that's 1.5 Q. And then the run that's in between, and then I just cancel that one whenever. So you might be thinking, like, how is this cruisier than 2 12-hour runs? Literally the only thing I have to do is restart a run, and I might cut the run early just to start a next one, and that's mainly around this window here and in between these two here. So I might just cut it early. Whatever, but for the most part, I know generally speaking when it's going to swap. Like, for example, if I start one at 6 in the morning, I know somewhere around my lunch break I'm going to restart the run, and I've kind of set that up to the point where even if I restart the run, if I'm busy, I don't even have to do the level skips. Like, yeah, with the level skips I might squeeze out a few more waves than that, but for the most part I don't even have to do the level skips. I can just let the free ups take care of it. So that's kind of how the runs have been going. So we're not comfortably getting all the labs at 4x, but we're getting them at 4x now, which is pretty good. So we only took a bit of a hit for a week or so. Here's damage if you're interested. Here's some of the other stats. I still don't quite know how to read this properly now since they changed it. So I kind of just don't even bother anymore. I kind of knew how to read the last one, the last way it was set up. Enemies destroyed. And this is kind of what I'm working on at the moment, is fetched. And that's just to get these shards back up. Like, I think I was getting roughly like, maybe about I don't know, I can't remember what it was. What is about 100 a day, roughly, on each shard type. But look, it is what it is. I think having this summoned has been doing pretty good. So we're getting a couple 100,000 summoned enemies a day. But yeah, that's how the runs have been going. Claimed. So we've had a pretty good week. This is actually, I'm actually recording earlier than what I usually do. Stats. So we're almost at we're almost at 100 Q. Damn. Almost at 100 Q. That's real crazy to think about. Stone Dune 30k. Still at the 2 keys. Still at the 2 keys, fam. I think. Not in the last tournament that I did on the stream last night. But the tournament before, I would literally have to like double my waves in that bracket to get any keys. And maybe that's like battle condition dependent, like whatever those conditions were. My tower doesn't like it, I'm not too sure. What did we get as far as a peak? So as far as the peak, you see it's right around that 5,000 mark. So as far as the peak goes, 575 trill. So we're doing pretty good. It's working out for us. So that's that. So tournament, this is the one from the stream last night. So it's still going. Bro, look at this beast. So this is where we sat, 620. Now I think one of these guys still has to go. Is it this guy's just started running? I think one of these guys has just started running. Yeah, so I'm 17th. So to get keys for this one. So I thought it was that. 90 waves. Because I did actually muck it up in the stream. I mucked up my nuke. I mucked up my demon mode. All of that. Carry on. Don't know if I'll be able to squeeze out the extra 90 waves with a hard respec. But I definitely don't think I'll be able to get an extra 120 waves. So it's kind of not worth respecing. For the history, yeah, this is the one that I was talking about. To get keys in it, I'm pretty sure the guy was like 1100 waves. Yeah, wild. So from the key point, I think we're just taking it as it comes. Event, I did a little whoopsies. I forgot to do this. So because I'm kind of strangled for card slots, I actually don't know what I can kick out in order to complete the demon mode. Yeah, we'll figure that one out. Bots. Yeah, I haven't picked these up, and I'm actually going to give them a miss. 2% health's nothing. It's, yeah, I mean, I know it all adds up, but it's nothing. 5% defense tab. Just no use to me. Not until there's a serious rework. And I know, like, some people have faith in, you know, whatever, but I haven't seen anything yet. I could put some stuff into this, but honestly, I want to wait. Because I'm actually more thinking about what Flamebot looks like. And there's a reason for it. We can touch on it soon. Guild, always killing it. Like, bro, we're always getting, like, around that 1,000 wave mark. To all my guildies. It's real crazy because, like, sometimes when I jump in the stream, some of the guildies will jump in and we'll be talking away. But I won't know they're from the guild because they got different names. But yeah, guildies are killing it, bro. Oh, super active guild and been super active for ages. I think in like maybe season 1 and season 2, there was a couple of people that dropped off. Some of them were really like, you know, were chill as people too. But is what it is. For the Guardian, oh bro, we got no chips left. So summon hasn't changed fetch. For the most part, we're just kind of looking like this. I haven't gone back to a effective sheet to do it properly, but you know, who cares? It's thereabouts. It's thereabouts. I think most people's stores starting to look like this as people buying this stuff out. What I am gonna do is after I get these last coin multipliers, I'll start dipping into these. So I'll go for this one first. I mean, I may even do that beforehand. But currently as we sit, it wouldn't even get us anywhere near a level. Getting 1,000 of those. I think it stops at 1,000. But yeah, so I'll go for the coin multipliers first. I think it's a pretty common thing that everybody does it in that sort of pattern. So that was the guild. So for workshop. So this is kind of where we are. It's a bit of a hot mess. So I'll try to explain what we did. So we had everything gold boxed in here. Oh, that's what I didn't do. So I wondered why I had to put a few levels in. It was actually on the crit chance. So if I'm farming 5,000 waves roughly, and we're letting free ups take over, so there's already 6,500 waves, or 5,500 waves in here alone that the free ups needs to take out. But if we set ourselves up in a way, what I've basically done is I've devoted off a bunch of stuff and I've gold boxed a bunch of other stuff. Now stuff like this at crit chance, it's probably not ideal. It's probably ideal to have that a lot lower, but it bumps up so fast with free ups. And basically a lot of this stuff, it bumps up so fast with free ups that, you know, it's kind of, you kind of want to, it kind of doesn't matter, I suppose is what I'm saying. Like a lot of this stuff bumps up. And if I could, probably in my next respec, I might leave that at 0. And I might take the 100 levels out of this. So I need enough stuff gold boxed off the start to kind of fend off some mobs and still keep the trimming and killing efficient. But I don't want too many things gold boxed in that. Yeah, and I'm actually hoping we get to a stage where just everything's at 0. But yeah, we're nowhere near that kind of stage. But that's pretty much like tweaking in this tab is what's been going on quite a bit. Basically every respec I'm tweaking something in this tab to just try to figure out. And I actually think before my last respec, I feel like the way that I'd set that tab up was probably the best as far as from the free up side. Like the best balance between over trimming in the start and then being able to not have to input anything near the tail end of the run. But I actually forgot what I set those levels at. So now I'm just kind of like rethinking or rediscovering what those are. The other tabs, all the same. I'm still liking the shockwave size. And I think at some later stage, this is what we're going to be looking to tweak. So as we push more for that reversal Devo style of the build. These have just got a little bit of something in them. Yeah, that's the defense tab. For this tab, I've put this level at to 450. Now, I did manage to find, actually only last night, I did actually manage to find like an enemy level skip chart where it kind of looks at, from an efficiency standpoint, on levels in your workshop versus level in your enhancements tabs. And there's a few things to consider there, like nothing's quite set in stone. Like a big factor is how much cash you earn for purchasing, you know, in-game clicks, and then also free ups. Like a whole bunch of us will all have a whole bunch of different settings and stuff, but from like a general sense and the way that it's set up, it's kind of looks in a way where I've over invested in here versus the enhancements tab. But yeah, there's too many variables in it. But the main reason why I put quite a bit more in this tab is because it's far cheaper than the Enhancements tab. But it also means that 450 levels, I don't have to touch it, and I'm going to get almost the same waves. Like, we're talking a very marginal difference, which, you know, again, is probably more of a reflection of my tower. Like, maybe I don't have enough free ups or something, or I'm not sure. I'm not really too sure, but, you know, I suppose what I'm saying is, if it's only going to buy me an extra 50 to 100 waves by getting it just that inch faster, probably the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and it's just way easier just like not doing it. Like, obviously, if I'm active and I'm near my device, I'll do it. But if not, like, let's say I'm in the middle of something at work, I get called away, I've got a meeting or something, and then all I have to do is just start it, let it fire away, and then just let it do its thing, and I'm not missing out on too much. For enhancements, the damage tab has stayed the same. We do want to get these up to that 1.8 mark, but I'm a little bit tied up for coins at the moment. Health is at 0. We do eventually want to work our way into orbs. I got some recommendations from one of my live streams, and I feel like we're probably a little bit too poor to go too deep into orbs at the moment. But there's, like, the bang for buck for putting coins into orbs is just slim to none for me at the moment. I will actually see how much is in my workshop. So we're about 45Q sitting in the workshop. For tournament, I probably pull about 10Q out of modules, so we're over 50. So that's kind of like a rough idea if you're interested in how much is sitting there. And the enhancements tabs, I feel like I am missing something from here, but I can't figure out what I might have missed. So we put a little bit more into cells. I'm not sure if we had that in the last update, but I think I may have had... I feel like I'm missing clicks in here. Well, I'm not too sure. But anyway, that's how it's looking at the moment. And for you, Dubs, we got the 70% slow. So we are one click away. We're one click away from max slow. And I tell you what, guys. I tell you what. It actually has made a huge difference. Now, as far as farming goes, if it's made a huge difference, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I definitely know, like, I think around the 50 something slow. What did I have? I might have had 50 or 55% slow. I noticed I was getting chipped. I'm not really getting chipped at the moment. At min range when the black hole's down. What I am getting though, like from the chip standpoint, like I might have no rays on screen. And this is ever since like the last update or the one before. You know, these other versions or the scatter carry on. Yeah, it just seems like I'll look at the screen, I'll see no rays charging or whatever, and then I'll randomly, and this is like during activations, like I feel like I'm getting chipped by ranged mobs during like black hole activation. It's really strange. I'm not really too sure. I just kind of, when I see stuff like that, like I just don't really overthink it. Like I know there's all sorts of little bugs and stuff like that, and I just accept that. I don't know. It's a part of the game. It is what it is, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. For the rest of the UWs, here's what they look like if anybody's interested. I feel like we're gonna benefit from so many low-hanging fruit. Like getting just even 3 clicks into black hole size. You know, like this sort of stuff. So like any mobs during the activation, any mobs that are getting like stunned while everything's activated. Like there's heaps of little things like that, but we're just stone starved at the moment. We're stone famine. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, we just got bigger priorities at the moment. So as far as cards go, so I've set these 2 slots up now that it looks like we're not going back to Orbless, and the only difference between it is just cash. It's just having the cash. cash, and this one, ultimate crit. If I had another card slot, we could be running a tab, and just one tab, until we get basically some more Masteries. And this is where we're going to run into the pinch point, is when we start looking at more Masteries. And it's just because we were going so hard on modules, trying to get the last copy of Dim Core, that, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's the same constraint that everybody's got. Y'all have got the same problem, I got that same problem too. None of us are immune. But the star of the show, everybody's seen it live. Absolutely wild. I was fizzing out, losing my mind. You know, it's like, what's it on? Is it on Friday after next? Tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama. Bro, this is exactly what it was like. I unlocked assist mods. Can we just take a moment? Unlocked assist mods at 30k stones. Absolutely wild, fam. But I was so happy with that. Well, honestly, been trying, not like... Alright, let's give the version a try. So, would say for the last 4 to 6 weeks, been trying to go further in the tier 18 to hit the milestone. And in the last couple weeks, been like a little bit more active as I see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I was getting a little bit more and a little bit more active. And then, like, we'd end up getting to stages. Like, I got to yesterday, and I was probably, like, spam running it for, like, 2 hours. Like, straight up. Run after run after run. Tweak this, change this, tweak this, change that. And then we actually got to the last one. Like, I was done with it, or I was just like, oh, boy, I'm just going to hurry up and do my tourney run. Chuck the stream on, do my tourney run, and we'll just call it. It is, you know, it is what it is. And maybe it's a good little intro. Like at the start. So I chucked it on. Started the run. I don't think I did anything. You know, go get myself a drink. You know, like that sort of stuff. Get myself situated. Find some music for background. Set OBS up. Stream starts. Everybody's talking. And I'm kind of like, oh yeah, you know, like this is kind of what it's like. Well, how these runs go for me. This is, I die here. This and that. This and that. And then it's like, oh yeah, so right at this point, this is where it starts getting hard. And then it's like, oh, we're actually doing all right. And then it's like, boom, now I lost my wings. Oh, rubbish. And it kept going like that. And then we just got closer and closer. And then I was like, oh my, man, we might do this. We might do this, fam. You might see this live. And bro, we got absolutely clutch wave skips, perfect death defies, everything, and then we just took it for the win. And then we did the tier 19, did it in a hit, you know, like those earlier waves in like tier 19. Like I think when you do the tier 16 for the scatter amp lab, is it tier 16 or tier 17 when you do the scatter amp lab? That's only right in the start of the run. All you need is second wind, demon mode, that sort of stuff, and you got it in the bag. You've done the hard works by reaching the 300 waves in the tier beforehand. But yeah, we got it. Now what this does do, unfortunately, is it pushes back the push for GT Plus. Oh, it's just is what it is. I do have a few shards here waiting. I think I could take this to like level 176 or 175, and that's just because I've got to siphon off coins to afford the mastery, because now we've got assist mods. We really need to max out that rare package mastery ASAP. But in a general sense, like as far as our modules are going, we're at pretty strong levels. I actually got a butt ton of modules to shatter. But I'm not shattering at the moment, just because I did have some other rarities and stuff that I've been trying to work on. So I managed to pick up Ancestral AD, which is pretty good. I wanted it for the longest time, and we just didn't have any luck. And then we ended up rolling BA first, so we just stuck with that. I think my first Ancestral mod was actually a death penalty, so that served us well for the longest time in tourneys. What else? Heaps of just random stuff as we're pulling for this new module. Yeah, shrink rays but yeah, not the best luck this round. And oh look, it is what it is. What's that? 8 days to go. So I basically feel like we got no shot at Ancestral for this new mod. And it's something that, like, now that I've unlocked the assist slots, it's like I really wanted Ancestral so we could see what we play with. But look, that's the way these things go. That's the way the cookie crumbles. What else for modules? I suppose we can actually talk about the assist slots and my plan. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the core first. So that will give us a dimension core for farming. We'll finally have some version of a single target damage. So I think that's going to be massive for farming. And it also means for we get a twofold benefit. We're going to get a bit of benefit for farming, since at this kind of stage where I am, damage is the econ. So getting more damage is going to give me basically more econ. So it's going to help with farming, but then also for tournaments, I'll actually be able to roll own chips. So I had to crunch a few mods together to try to get the copies to get this to Mythic, and I think that's kind of the best part. I couldn't think of anything else we could use. I don't think anything else in that slot makes sense to me. Like Primordial, I don't think it makes sense to me because I run it as Glass Cannon. I'm not up to the stage with where you play, I think Bonsai calls it Fleet Roulette. I'm not at that stage yet. It does mean that reroll shards is actually taken on a hell of a lot more importance though. But I think that's going to be real massive for us. Having the, what is it at Epic? Having the spotlight just constantly on the boss. I think that's going to be huge for us. And then a little bubble around them, you know, to help clear out. And then next I think we're going to go with this slot. So I think everything that I wanted to do as far as stones goes is pretty much gone on the back burner as we just start unlocking these slots, and it'll give us some build diversity. So I think for this slot, I'm actually not sure what I'm supposed to put here. Like, I think you're supposed to go Singularity Harness. And I mean, it makes sense. What is it at Epic? 5 meter Goldbot. Flamebot received double damage. So should I be going for... Should I get rid of Antbot and go for Flamebot? I'm not really too sure. Maybe somebody needs recommendations down below. But the only other thing that I can think of that makes sense in this slot... I honestly can't think of anything else. The only other thing I could think is G-Comp. But then this at Epic's 10 seconds. So does that mean that, like, all I'll do is we'll be breaking sync? Like, I'll be breaking sync for what purpose? An extra 10 seconds? I think it's one of those things where we're just going to have to test. Yeah, we're just going to have to test it out. And I think more the perma black hole is, like, super important. Like, because I'm using Space Displacer. And we can even talk about that slot. So I know that people don't put a high priority on this. But for me, if I get that slot there, even at Epic, that's a 10 times damage multiplier. Or if we reverse it around, and then I put that there, and then I Space Displacer there, then it also doesn't matter about us going G-Comp. All I'm saying is there's a lot of testing that has to go on. There's a lot of testing, which is a good thing. It's fun. It's fun. That's why I wanted this so much, is it just opens up build diversity. And then for the guns, I think for the guns, it's all doesn't matter. But now we get into the other phase of it, where we've got the multipliers, now that everything's a multiplier. Now, I've been trying to read up stuff on Reddit. Oh, bro. I've been trying to look everywhere. But a lot of this stuff, just like on a typical Google search, there's like 1 or 2 tools floating around, but not like what I would expect. And I think that's just because it wasn't released multiplicative. It was released additive. So everybody's like been using different things or something like that. If you guys have got recommendations for tools and that, please share it. But somebody was saying, who was it? I was in Dr. Trashbag's live stream, and he's using a tool that got shared to him through Crowbar and that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try to figure something out. And the reason why is because, like, if we get to this slot, you know, like the question that I asked was, like, when it comes to low-hanging fruit, so you guys can think about when you first unlock Chain Lightning and whatever, and, you know, maybe you're on your quest to unlock your Econ ultimate weapons or all that sort of thing. We've all been at that part of the journey, and it's like, while I'm here with this Chain Lightning, like, is there any low-hanging fruit where you just, like, you know, that portion of an ultimate weapon where you get your best bang for buck? And, like, say for Chain Lightning, like, there's a really cheap upgrade you can do. I think it's like 150 stones, and you get X amount of damage, X amount of quant, and X amount of chance. And it's just like well, while you're here, you might as well on your way to saving up. So I kind of asked the same thing, and it was recommended to me that when I pick up this slot, I pick up the slot, and then I take the, the multiplier efficiency, like I take it to 20%, and then I just crunch some numbers and then divide out some of my, what are these called? Some of these thingamabobs, and then get it, and you kind of get like a good bang for buck kind of window in that. So that's all the thinking side that we're gonna have to do, and then the rest of it is just having a play. Like, I think for the most part a lot of people are using the same things, but then every now and then I get caught off guard when I see, like, either a post in Discord from somebody, or I see you know, one of the guys doing a live stream, and I see them and they're doing something totally different. So it means that we're gonna have a bit of fun. What I might do, I might try and see if we can get this by 100%. Reroll shards are just going to be worth so much more now. We'll have one shot at this, and then outside of that, we probably need to start really saving up so we can, you know, start rolling on things like this. Actually, to be honest, I don't think I'll be investing in the substat efficiency all that much. So I did roll off the enemy attack level skips. To be honest though, the attack level skips and Ancestral is probably like more value, even though it's not beneficial to me. Like maybe for later down the road, it's probably more beneficial than the free up. Whoop, it's not what we wanted to do. Oh, this is what it's like. Look, getting dumb stuff. Oh well. That's what my rolling's been like lately. I haven't rolled anything on this. This is all goods for what it is. This, it's all good for what it is, and this, it's all good for what it is. Yeah, we need to like really start saving up, but we also probably need to start taking into consideration the cash card mastery. Yeah, so many things to get, so little stones. Now, as far as the labs go, oh, it did that thingy to me. What do you got? Speed it up. So as far as labs go, boom. This is basically staying here perma now. Recovery package mastery. And just any coins that I'll earn, I'll just put them into my modules. And then when the next level's due, I'll just pull the coins out of the modules. And then we'll start leveling up. And then we'll just be in that sort of cycle. But we got to take this to max. Which max, if that's at 2%, makes me think, what, max is 4%? I'm thinking. These two, just because I feel like it. There's nothing optimum about it. Antbot cooldown, just because I feel like it again. And lab coin discount, this is really long, bro. But 80, level 80. As far as the history goes. See, I've just been putting heaps of random stuff in. Is it the 9th today? Is it really only the 9th? So here's how the lab's been going. What's this? Death wave damage amp. Oh, I think I'd put a couple levels into that, and that's probably something I have to look into. But I'm actually super curious if I end up going with Singularity Harness. It's a shame it's only at Legendary. But if I go with Singularity Harness, I'm actually curious if Flamebot is a bit of a go. Enemies hit by Flamebot receive double damage. Interesting. I actually don't really know how Flamebot works all that well. This is, honestly, this is what it's been like for me. Just constantly staring and playing around with things and trying to get my modules sorted. So we are 1,000 stones, 2,000 stones, 3,000 stones, 4,000 stones away. Holy hecker. Holy hecker. 4,000 stones. What's that? 8 weeks. 2 months. It's the name of the game. It is the name of the game. So that's been us for the week. Super cruisy farming week. Really enjoying the transition. Topped it off with a massive stream last night, getting those assist modules, and then now we can start thinking and scheming up different ways. You know, it's one of those things, because modules are so RNG based, that I think people look at certain builds or certain things and then they want that, or they want to go that direction. But because it's RNG based, look, my build's a prime example. I have to go with Space Displacer as a poor man's version of a reversal of Devo. There's workarounds when it comes to modules. J Plays gave a prime example when he talked about he just couldn't get Galaxy Compressor. So he went a different direction where he found like a few ways to tweak things and to, flesh out a build where it was a low cost version of going reverse orb Devo. So this is like my even lower cost version. The ceiling's a lot lower because it's not an ACP based build, but there's just stuff like that. I'll give you another example. This one here, Harmony Conductor. So I couldn't get any decent core module. Everything was like at Legendary and all that sort of thing. But I got this to Ancestral fast. Now look, it's even Ancestral 3. So it is what it is. It's just like, well, that's the new farming one. Whatever other modules I use, I just do accordingly. Same with the guns. I couldn't get any guns. BA is not what I wanted. I wanted to go AD, but BA came first. And then I just adjusted the build accordingly. So it's one of those sort of things. If you can get creative and adjust some builds. If you're in the earlier stages of the game, and let's say like Wormhole Redirector or Sharp Fortitude, Wormhole Redirector before you get Wall, it's the king for EHP. Sharp Fortitude after you get Wall, it's the king. But if you don't manage to get them Ancestral, or you have really bad luck with doing them, there's other workarounds that you'll be able to do. It just might not be optimum, but you just adjust your build and go accordingly, like Negative Mass Projectors one, which is a massive one at Ancestral for debuffing enemies and it gives you good survivability. There are other options for you in the earlier game. And if things aren't quite working out, if Galaxy Compressors don't exist for you, if BHDs don't exist for you, if project fundings don't exist for you, there's still other workarounds. So just try to get creative and see what you can do. But that's us for the week. So if you like what you see, you know the drill, fam. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you can see when the next video is coming out. And as always, keep it cloudy, fam.